Welcome to the review for Unit 12 on solving multi-step equations and inequalities. So we started with two-step equations that had fraction coefficients. The coefficient of x is a fraction. So we add 9 to both sides as normal. 1/6x, negative 4 plus 9 is 5. To get rid of a fraction coefficient, you multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So x is 30. Then we did how to convert Fahrenheit into Celsius. You just replace the F. You do not need to memorize the formula. You replace the F with the temperature you want to find out about. So you subtract 32 from both sides here. 9/5 C equals 99, I believe, right? Multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 9/5, which is 5/9. 9 cancels with 99 and becomes 11. And so C equals 11 times 5, or 55 degrees. So 131 degrees Fahrenheit, which is awfully hot, is 55 degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's clear the fraction. Now, if it's just 1/2 there, you wouldn't bother with this. We're going to multiply both sides by 10. Right? 10 is the least common multiple of 2 and 10. 10 is on both times tables. And remember, you can get weird answers here. 2 goes into 10, 5. 5 times 1x is 5x. Minus 1, the 10's just canceled. 10 times 9 is 90. Add 1 to both sides. 5x equals 91. Ooh, that's going to be weird. Divide by 5, because it doesn't go in nicely. 91/5 is the correct answer because it's simplified, but let's see if we can make some sense out of that. So we have a remainder 4. 5 into 41 goes 8. 5 times 40 is 8. So it is also, what, 18 and 1/5. 90/5 is 18. It's also 8 and 1/5 is 8 and 2/10, so 18.2. All of those are correct. Any one. Pick one you're most confident in. All right, to get rid of both a 2 and a 7, you got to multiply it by 14. That's what's going to let us cancel all of that. That becomes a 7 and becomes 7x. That becomes a 2 and becomes 2 times 5, 10, minus 10. 7 times cancels the 14. That's 2 times 2 equals 4. This one comes out much nicer. 7x equals 14. Divide both sides by 7. X equals 2. The sunflower grows at a rate of 1/4 of a foot per week. So that's going to be our rate, and it's in weeks. When it was planted in the ground, it was 2 feet tall. That's where we started. That's our constant. If the sunflower is currently 6.5 feet tall, now we cannot put 6.5 here, right? We're going to make that 13 halves. Now we're going to, we couldn't make it all decimals, but we're working on fractions here clearly. So we're going to clear everything, right? Now, this one's not that hard. You could subtract 2 from both sides, but we've learned to clear fractions. Let's clear fractions. Let's multiply everything by 4. These 4 cancel, and you get a W. 4 times 2 is 8. These 2 cancel. 2 times 13 is 26. We got a one-step equation with the same answer. Let's do that instead. So we get W equals 16 weeks. All right, so a couple of things. No mixed numbers in your equation. And then you have to, you couldn't deal with the fractions because I didn't say you had to clear the fractions, but you will have to clear fractions for the test. All right, so solve the equation. Now, first thing you want to look at, are the x's all on the same side? They are. So combine your like terms is what you do there. 4x plus x is 5x. Negative 3 plus 10 is positive 7. Once you get to the two-step equation, you do the same old thing over and over again. Negative 20 minus 7 is negative 27 equals 5x. Divide by 5 both sides. And so this one doesn't come out that nicely. I want to make sure I did everything right when that happens, and I did. So this is negative 27/5. You can leave it that way. 25/5 is 5. So this is negative 5 and 2/5. You could put that, which is also negative 4 and negative 5 and 4/10. So all of those are correct. I'd stick with negative 27/5. All right, let's say here's an inequality. Let's do the same thing. Negative 8x plus 5x is negative 3x. 9 minus 10 is negative 1. Ooh, add 1 to both sides. Negative 3x is less than 15. Divide both sides by -3. Why did I write that in red? Because you have to flip the symbol. X is greater than -5. Parentheses, your go-to method for getting rid of parentheses is distributive property, -2x minus 10. And then you get an easy peasy two-step. 28 equals -2x. Divide both sides by -2. -14 equals x. Again, first thing you want to do, get rid of the distributive property. 4x, then that's -24 plus 10 is less than or equal to 18. Like terms, -24 plus 10 is -14, so that's -14. Add 14 to both sides. 4x is less than or equal to 32. Divide by 4 both sides. X is less than or equal to 8. Here you're distributing a -1. Here you're distributing a +1. No big deal. 2x plus 4 minus x plus 3 right there. Make sure you get a +3 there. You distributed a -1. Combine your like terms. 2x minus x is was x. I almost wrote 3x, right? 2x minus 1x is x. 4 plus 3 is 7. Subtract 7 from both sides, and x equals 18. Apples are twice the cost of bananas. It says it right there. Truthfully, I don't need to have that statement there, but I want you to understand what 2x and x mean. Sam bought 5 packages of apples. Oh, so he bought 5 times 2x. And bananas. So, all right, so we could do distributive property, or we can just write 5 times 2x and 5 times x, because bananas are x. And 2 bunches of grapes. 2 times 2.5. And the total cost was 50 bucks, exactly. So let's see what we got. Here we got 10x, and 10x plus 5x makes 15x. And 2 times $2.50 is $5, right? So we got a nice easy peasy two-step. 15x equals 45. Divide both sides by 15. 15 goes into 45 exactly 3 times. And remember, it's money, so it's $3 for the bananas, and apples are 2 times that, right? Apples are 2 times $3, $6. Then the last thing we did, we put x on both sides. My recommendation, get rid of them where there are fewer. There are fewer x's. 2 is smaller than 7, so get rid of the 2x. Remember, we're subtracting 2x, not 2, and we're not dividing it like we're subtracting 2 x's. Very different than what we do in all the other problems, where all the x's are on the same side. But once you do that, we get a nice easy two-step equation. Subtract 18 from both sides. -17 minus 8, same as -17 plus -8, -25. Divide by 5. X equals -5. Here, what is fewer? Again, we have to be careful of that. -7 is smaller than -1, so we're going to add 7x to both sides. And that way I get a nice positive 6x. If you add x to both sides, you end up with a -6x. On the other side, you can still get the right answer. It's just this is going to be easier. Easier is better in my book. Divide both sides by 6, x equals 4. Okay, so we're going to get rid of we're always going to go for getting rid of the parentheses first. You can combine these at the same time. 9x minus 2x is 7x. 7x, uh-oh, I got the same amount of x's on both sides. And I got this wacky equation that says 14 equals 15. What does that mean? So what is the solution when you solve it? There is none. There is no solution. Let's practice. You go to the state fair, and it costs $12 again and $9 for 6 rides. All right, so we have to find the cost per ride, the unit rate. So it's $9 for 6 rides. Well, we could simplify that, or we could just do 9 divided by 6, either one. But that simplifies to 3 halves. 3 halves is 1.5, also known as $1.50, right? $1.50 per ride. Or well, let's just leave it 3 halves, right? Because we can't use 1.5 in the equation, but we can use 3 halves. We can use $1.50. Okay. So let's say I'm going to do 3 halves. 3 halves for each ride. And it was $12 to get in. And you have a total of $27. That is your two-step equation. We've written the equation. Now we subtract 12. We get 3 halves r equals 15. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 3 halves, also known as 2/3. And you cancel the 3 and the 15, and you get 10 rides. Now you could have done this with a decimal, but then you would have had to divide both sides by 1.5. And you have to get rid of the decimal, do all that business. It's actually easier to use the fraction. Distribute a negative 1/6 here, negative 1/6x. 1/6 times 18 is 3, so this is minus 3. Negative 1/6 times 18 equals 5. Add 3 to both sides. I'm being sloppy. Negative 1/6x equals 8. What's the reciprocal of negative 1/6? Negative 6. You could put negative 6 over 1 if you want. Those all cross out, and the answer is 8 times negative 6, negative 48 is the solution. It's the only number that will make that all work out. Remember, you're not going to be just looking for answers here. So let's see if we can turn this into one of these equations. You get 5x minus 10 here. You distribute a negative 2 here. You get minus 6x plus 12 equals 26. 5x minus 6x, negative x, right? They both have negative x, so that's not helpful. Negative 10 plus 12 is plus 2. Oh, I'm getting A, right? Because it's negative 10 plus 12 is positive 2. For a perimeter, you add up all the sides. And it has to equal 64. We're going to find x, this side right over here. X plus 3x, I'm getting 5x. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Equals 64. Add 1 to both sides. 5x equals 65. Divide by 5. 5 goes into 6 once. 5 goes into 15 3. X equals 13. This side was 13. This side was, I didn't ask all this, but it's 17. This is how you could check your work. This is 3 times 13, which I think is 39. And 39 minus 5 is 34. And those three numbers better add up to 64 if I did this correctly. And that's how you could check your work. So we're going to circle all three errors. So we're going to 1/3 x, 1/3 times 6, it should be negative 2 there. So that's our first mistake. Now then you don't go back and fix it. You just say, well, next he should have subtracted 2 from both sides. He got 1/3 x, but he added 2, so this is also wrong, right? He obviously added 2 and got 18, so that's his second mistake. Here he should multiply both sides by 3. So he should get 18 times 3. He obviously did 18 divided by 3. Those are the 3 mistakes. Good luck on the test. Do your homework first.